Jake Miller was driving alone across the endless desert along Route 66. The road stretched endlessly in front of him like a black ribbon cutting through the desert. On both sides, there was nothing but darkness, dry land, and distant mountains barely visible under the moonlight. Jake had been driving for nearly 4 hours straight. His eyes burned from exhaustion. His car radio played a faint country song from an old station near Flagstaff, Arizona, but the signal kept fading in and out. Static, then music, then static again. Jake sighed and rubbed his eyes. He checked the GPS on his dashboard. Signal lost. Great. Just great. He tapped the screen a few times, but nothing changed. Perfect timing, Jake muttered. The desert night suddenly felt colder. Wind pushed small clouds of dust across the road as his headlights cut through the darkness. Then something appeared ahead. A bus stop. That was strange. Jake slowed the car. An old wooden sign stood next to a broken bench. The paint was peeling and the metal frame was covered in rust. The sign read, "Last stop." Jake frowned. He had driven this road before and never seen a bus stop here. But what made it even stranger? Someone was standing there. A woman. She stood perfectly still under the dim moonlight. Her long black hair hung over her shoulders and she wore a white dress that looked outdated, like something from the 1950s. Jake hesitated. Out here in the middle of nowhere, seeing anyone at this hour was unusual. But leaving someone stranded in the desert didn't feel right either. He slowly pulled over. The gravel crunched under his tires as the car stopped beside the bus stop. Jake rolled down the passenger window. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked. The woman slowly turned her head toward him. Her face looked pale. Too pale. Like someone who hadn't seen sunlight in years. "Yes," she said softly. Her voice sounded distant, almost like it was coming through an old radio. "Could you take me to the next town?" Jake nodded. "Sure, hop in." The passenger door unlocked with a click. But the woman didn't open that door. Instead, she walked around the car and opened the back door. Jake found that a little odd. Most people would sit in the front, but he didn't question it. The door shut quietly behind her. For a moment, everything felt normal again. Jake pulled back onto the road. The tires hummed against the asphalt. The radio crackled softly. Neither of them spoke. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. The air inside the car felt colder than before. Jake rubbed his arms. "Cold night," he said casually. No response. He glanced at the rearview mirror. The woman was sitting directly behind him. Her hands rested neatly on her lap. Her eyes were fixed on him. Not blinking. Just watching. Jake looked away quickly. His stomach twisted slightly. Something about her gaze made him uncomfortable. "So where exactly are you heading?" he asked. Silence. He checked the mirror again. Still staring. Still not blinking. Jake felt a chill crawl down his spine. "Miss," he tried again. Nothing. Just the quiet hum of the road. Then suddenly, the car radio burst into loud static. Jake jumped and quickly reached for the volume knob. But before he could touch it, a voice came through the speakers. Low. Distorted. Next stop. Jake froze. Last stop. The radio cut out. Dead silence filled the car. Jake slowly looked into the rearview mirror. The back seat was empty. Completely empty. Jake slammed the brakes. The car screeched to a stop in the middle of the dark highway. His heart hammered violently in his chest. "That's not funny," he whispered. He turned around in his seat. Nothing. No one. The back door was still closed. Jake swallowed hard. He turned back toward the road. Then slowly, he looked into the mirror again. The woman was sitting there, exactly where she had been before. This time her head was tilted slightly to one side, and her lips were stretched into a slow, unnatural smile. Jake's hands trembled on the steering wheel. What do you want?" he asked. The woman finally spoke. Her voice sounded deeper,